Beerzerker. Yeah, Beerzerker here with the wine from Stoneleigh, you know what I'm saying? Loving the Stoneleigh, loving their Sauvignon Blanc, if you know what I mean. Marlborough region of New Zealand typically bringing us some fabulous Sauvignon Blancs, especially if you're not into a wine that's too intimidating, you just want a really great, subtle white wine. Maybe to pair along some shrimp, something like that. Some seafood Alfredo, you know what I mean? Stoneleigh Sauvignon Blanc's like $12 a bottle up here. We are a Commonwealth country. There may be some tax relief involved there. I don't know what the Stoneleigh Sauvignon Blanc runs you down in the States. Last Pinot Noir I did from New Zealand was the Ara Pathways. I will be throwing that down in the description box. A link to that review, which was exactly 1 year ago yesterday. So talk about that. That's back when I was rocking the Stuart Picard, you know. just that thing, you know what I mean? And that was a fun time. That was anyway. So I went back, rewatched the review, and found some similarities between this wine and that one a bit. And we'll talk more about that. Let's just top this glass up. Okay, so Stuart Picard, if you're not familiar, Ginger Ale Trail. Maybe I'll throw a link into that as well. I'll just try and remember that. I'll have to rewatch this. Throw some major links out. Just link it up tonight, you know what I mean? Link it up like Mott, Very Gainerchuk, Wine Library TV, which keeps touch me. Don't touch me. He's teaching me and teaching everybody to fucking look for new wines, new varietals, new places, best wine advice ever. So if you haven't checked out that channel, you need to check out that channel for sure. Because if you're here watching for wines, you need to watch that for wines as well. Very pink on the pour. That's one reason I like to pour it again. There's plenty of wine in this glass. This is a huge glass. Transparency. Typical Pinot Noir looking Pinot Noir. So this is a bottle of 2013. It is 2015, December 27th or 28th. 366 days ago, I drank the Ara Pathways from New Zealand because I wanted to get into a New Zealand Pinot Noir. I mean, I tried a lot of the Sauvignon Blancs. Loved them. Some great flavors coming out of those white wines. Some of them taste a bit like honeydew melon, you know, a little bit more than the others, but they're all pretty subtle. I was going to say great for like seafood, Alfredo, that kind of thing. This one I had with super roasted potatoes, you know, like broiled potatoes, like they're browned on both sides, kind of a little bit. Did on the stoneware, roasted them, roasting pan. Then I fried up a bunch of hamburger in big chunks, grass-fed, very kind of gamey, very strong tasting hamburger. A little bit more than what I normally get up here. A lot of grain-fed, a lot of barley-fed beef. This is straight grass-fed. Really a lot more of a stronger, gamier flavor. And then I made like a 3-cheese Alfredo with Parmesan, goat cheese, and mozzarella with butter that I like basically deep fried the garlic in first in the butter, right? 3-4 cloves, you know. Then we took that, you know, with all that cheese and cream we put in there and an egg yolk and everything, and we made that sauce. And we dumped it all over these vegetables that I steamed in butter, like the young broccoli, you know, with the yellow peppers and big chunks of mushroom in there. So we did that, and then we just made like a cheesy broccoli Alfredo, super garlicky, goat cheesiness, you know what I mean? And then we dumped that on top of the roasted potatoes. And I thought, you know, white wine would be great, but I was thinking, you know what? I had this Pinot, and I thought, that's going to go really great. against that gamey beef, and with the Alfredo as well. Um, like with the broccoli, especially because last one I had was a bit vegetal, right? Bit of vegetal. Yeah, burning the throat. Insane bitterness. Great mouthfeel. Watery, zesty, making the mouth water. It's savory. There's a bit of almost saltiness to the finish of the wine. Um, really cool. Really cool. I mean, right out of the bottle was fantastic. 5 minutes later, took a nosedive into Sour City. Mustard bitterness central. Like, just, it was just too much to bear. I mean, it wasn't good at that point. Now, we're moving into like hour number 3. This has, I let it breathe down here for about almost 2 hours below the wide spot with the cap off. Now it's starting to come together at least as good as it was at the start. 2013 is 2015 now. Probably repeating myself. Fair bit of spiciness, putting a lot of air through it. There's a lot going on with this wine, but you're probably going to pick out a bit of sour cherry for sure, like that straight up. Excuse me for one moment. Yes, where were we? Okay, it's sour. I mean, you're getting a sourness. There's a bitterness behind that. There's some ripe red fruit up front, big time. You're getting like a blast of like cherries, raspberries. And then you kind of get that raspberry tartness you get out of that. Kind of morphs through your rose hip, and then into the sour cherry thing. Then you're getting into your vegetables, great mouthfeel, into this weird bitterness in the finish. Pretty cool, I guess. Not the best Pinot Noir, in my opinion. Like, it's not as stable. I mean, it's all over the place. It's doing all kinds of neat stuff. But, I mean, you're getting hit with some blasts of sourness and some blasts of bitterness, and you might not be okay with that. You may not be after that. You may want something much more refined or together or basic, but yet more delicious or something. I don't know. Because I've had Pinots like that, that are just awesome, and then you get like one bad year maybe where they kind of become sour. It's starting to sweeten up. Starting to come back together again. It's starting to turn more into an 80-point wine. As before, I would have shot it, like at times I would have shot this a 70 through the phases. Right out of the bottle, I would have said, whoa, this is a 90-point wine. 5 minutes later, I would have said, whoa, this is a 60-point wine. Half an hour later, I would have said, well, it's a 70-point wine. It would have been a 70-point wine for another hour or so until around now, and I'm going to say, okay, it's at least a 75 to an 80 again. Maybe with more breathe time, maybe it'll continue to get better. But I'm going to shoot it a solid 75 and just kind of split it down the middle because it is all over. It's an unstable Pinot Noir. Like I said, check out Stoneleigh for their Sauvignon Blanc is awesome. And this isn't the worst Pinot Noir, I'm sure, out there by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, it's better than most of the shit people are drinking. So, I mean, this is not garbage or anything like that. But, I mean, for me to throw 75 at something out of 100, it's got to be fairly solid. So, I mean, you could do a lot worse. But it's $17 for me. I'm going to keep going to my safe zones, but I'm going to keep experimenting as well. But for the money, I'm going to say it's a slight pass. I'm going to shoot a 75 out of 100 on Beerzerker scale. Come in, check out the channels. I got a whole wine playlist. Gotta check that out. Got like over 600 beer reviews. Got all kinds of crazy stuff in the Beer Girls playlist. Just filmed an awesome episode of Beer Girls, Man vs. Wildies tonight. Earlier this evening. So I'll be editing that tonight to throw down in there. And you ought to check some of that stuff out. I suggest that you comment, rate, and subscribe to Beerzerker Radio. Down there, just hit the subscribe button. Leave some very nice comments and flatter me. I'll give you some more great wine advice. Because I'm throwing myself out there guinea pigging this shit. From all over the world, New Zealand, wherever. Putting my taste buds on the line for you. Beerzerker. Have a great 2016. Party down, party safe. And I'm out. Yeah!